Hello everyone, my name is Ellie Long. I am a proud member of the Communication Workers Union and a full-time worker at Parcel Force. I am joined today by our General Secretary Dave Ward and Terry Pullinger, the Deputy General Secretary Postal. My union has run the most effective industrial action campaign ever, mixing the best of our traditional methods with the best of new forms of engagement. We've held over 1,000 meetings in the workplace, matched by over 1 million views on our campaign videos. In every corner of the UK, our members have risen up. Judgment Day has arrived, and without further ado, the ballot result is as follows. Numbers balloted, 111,082. Ballot papers included in the count, 81,831. This is a turnout of 73.7%. Numbers voting no, 8,954. Numbers voting yes, 72,870. This is a yes vote of 89.1%. Postal workers have spoken. Now over to our General Secretary, Dave Ward.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming today. First of all, I do want to thank, on behalf of the whole of the union, our members for showing such tremendous support for their union and also for delivering what is undoubtedly a massive yes vote and also a great turnout. We also want to thank our representatives. The CW is a union that passionately believes in strong workplace representation. It's what our union is based on, and there's no doubt on this particular occasion we asked our members, our reps, to engage our members like never before, and they've delivered for us. And turning to what the result means for the company, I don't think without any shadow of a doubt what it must demonstrate is that the company's leadership, the board, the senior management team are completely out of touch with the workforce. And we say this to Royal Mail, these negotiations that subsequently led us to this point of balloting have been going on for about 18 months. And unless you shift your position significantly, very, very quickly, then industrial action is inevitable. I think what makes the result even more significant is that when Royal Mail was privatised, coming up to about 4 years ago now, soon, our members, postal workers, were given free shares. So what this result means to the company is, as workers and as shareholders, postal workers have completely rejected the direction that the company are going in and have completely rejected all of their messages to try and urge our members to vote against their union. I want to turn to what it means for customers, both the business world and the public. We believe that you know that postal workers are a great bunch of people. What they actually do every day is connect citizens across the UK, in every city, in every town, in every village, and even the most remote rural areas. And what this dispute is about, whilst undoubtedly we've said it's a watershed dispute, and clearly our members and the union is ready to defend our members' pensions, their jobs and their pay. What it's also about, and make no mistake about this, it's about defending your service. It's about defending a service that we've been proud to deliver for many, many years. And I know, and we know, that postal workers are really desperate to see a change in the approach from the company. They know that the world of communications is changing rapidly. We want to be part of that. And we believe that the only way that Royal Mail can be successful as a company in the future and adapt to this changing world is by investing in its greatest asset, which is its workforce. And we want to see, as part of this dispute, we want to see services improved, enhanced, and we want to see the company taking a much more ambitious approach to what it could be offering our customers and the business world, both at a national level and local level. At this point, I want to hand over to our Deputy General Secretary, Terry Pullinger, and say that Terry leads the negotiations that have taken place so far, and also that Terry has done a great job in putting the union on the front foot with our 4 pillars of security campaign. So well done, Terry.
Well, thanks everybody, and good afternoon. I have to tell you, I'm absolutely honoured to represent postal workers, and I couldn't be more proud sitting here now, knowing they've proven what I've always known. They've got so much dignity, self-respect, that they're not prepared to put up with what's been happening within Royal Mail. And I think it's really important the public understand that this dispute is about broken promises and it's about broken agreements. And don't underestimate, when you're looking at the size of that vote and that yes vote, don't underestimate that over the last few weeks our members have been absolutely bombarded with propaganda from the employer, both coming through on a daily basis on the handheld technology that they use on the doorstep, but also on televisions in the offices they work, and also through their door as well. And yet they've still chosen their trade union, because our position on the future of Royal Mail is progressive and it's in keeping with the legally binding agreement that we made when this industry was privatised. Now, we were opposed to the privatisation of Royal Mail, and so were the public in this country. But it was still privatised. It was split from the post office. No successful postal organisation in the world has split the retail and their delivery arms if they want to continue to be successful. But that's what happened. Sold off cheaply, and we all know the story, and journalists can do the research on that. For what? A promise that was made to our people. The promise of privatisation, which is being broken, is that when it was in the public sector, it was starved of investment. This was the answer to all our prayers. We were going to see a Royal Mail group that was now going to grow its product portfolio, it was going to grow new revenues, and that in itself would help protect the USO, the Universal Service Obligation, that great public service over 500 years old and still relevant today. But it was also going to protect, our members were told, their employment, their standard of living and their pension security. Now all of that's gone out the window. Just over 3 years of privatisation has seen them take all the hanging fruit, and now we're back to the conventional wisdom, it seems to be, of management success in this country. And that is to asset strip this great public service. Whether that's selling off buildings or whether it's attacking their greatest asset, the employees, as Dave just said. Attacking our pensions, attacking our terms and conditions, wanting to introduce the more insecure models of employment that we're seeing in society today. And also, at the same time, worsen the service. Their ethos now, their whole philosophy of the leadership of Royal Mail, and this is why it's got to be changed, and this is why we're fighting to change it. And this vote should send a massive message to everyone in this country, including Royal Mail, that it is a massive vote of no confidence in the leaders of this business, and they should, in my opinion, either resign or be sacked for the direction that they're taking. If you attend Royal Mail's AGM or whenever they're talking to their shareholders, it's not about the growth and working together that our agreements were meant to be all about, that would provide industrial stability and also the security I referred to. Their whole mantra now is about minimising costs, maximising profit, increase shareholder return year on year. If that's at the expense of our members or the expense of this great public service, then they really don't care. But we're not prepared to put up with that. We took the argument to Royal Mail, we've taken the arguments and our vision to our members, and the ballot result, I think you'll all agree, is emphatic. We've got the confidence of the people. We're not just fighting for ourselves, we're fighting for a great public service that will be ruined.
Questions on Kevin from the Mirror indicated.
Yeah, please. Kevin Maguire with the Daily Mirror. What happens next and how quickly could you move to strikes? Will you move to strikes? Will it be one day or longer periods? And secondly, I can't remember, Terry called it emphatic, I can't remember a majority in turnout that big in a big national dispute with a big company. Did the balloting threshold, which was intended to shackle you, did that actually backfire on the government and spur you on?
I think in regard to your last point, Kevin, we have always delivered good results. We have a union that is very much based in workplaces. And as Ellie said at the start of this press conference, what the union has focused on, obviously we're aware of the new Tory anti-trade union laws, the new thresholds that have been set. So we did go about our job of engaging members in a very different way. But we also combined with that the best traditions of the union, which is about your local representative engaging the members in the workplace. I know when we was at the TUC a couple of weeks back, both Terry and I went out and done meetings early in the morning during the TUC, and what we saw that day, we called it National Gate Meeting Day, where all of our reps were invited to hold meetings on the same day. And we've got around about 1,500 locations in Royal Mail across the country. And that day, we saw images posted on social media. We counted up about 1,200 different offices actually came out of their workplace and participated in that. So what you've seen is a combination of the union's traditional methods aligned with a brilliant campaign, the 4 pillars of security, as we spoke about earlier on, put the union on the front foot, but also our communications team running a great campaign on social media. All of that combined, and I think, you know, the position of the company, which has been pretty incoherent all through this, has brought about this vote. It is about us focusing on our members at the moment, and you know, that's where we will be. In regards to action, that's a matter for the union's postal executive to determine, both in terms of when, where and what. But as we said, you know, there's been negotiations going on that have not borne any fruit, and people are running out of patience.
Sorry, Sky News. Is it likely that you're going to target the Christmas period for any industrial action?
Yeah, I mean, to some degree now, the sort of rules of engagement have changed, because you've only really got effectively 6 months to resolve your dispute. Otherwise, you could be in a position of balloting again. So obviously, you want to have the most effect to try and move things forward. So the postal executive of the union, as Dave just said, will make the decision, and we've got a meeting on Thursday, and we will decide how we now take this ballot forward. But I'd ask everyone to please put this into context. These talks have been going on for 18 months, and part of these talks is the business of taking executive action and serve notice that our pension scheme will close in April of next year. So the timescales to some degree are determined by all those factors, and we've got to take that into account.
Okay, have we got anyone else? No, I'll leave it to Dave for a minute, and then Terry for a minute, and then we'll close the press conference.
Well, I mean, first of all, let me say it was also great to see Ellie, a young postal worker, a young representative of our union, delivering such a brilliant result. That was a good thing, and long may that continue. Let's see more young people coming through in the union. They're there, and they are starting to come through, and this result will encourage that. I just really want to repeat the fact that this is a watershed dispute. We are going to defend our members' pensions, their jobs and their pay, but also it is about the service, as we've emphasised throughout this press conference. The public have enjoyed a fantastic service for many, many years. We know that there's change in the air. We know that the world of communications is changing. And do you know the people who really want to see change is your postal worker? But they want to see the right type of change. They want to see a change where we adapt to a changing world of communications. And you do that by investing in your workforce. What Royal Mail are trying to do is the same as every other private company. They told us that there was going to be investment. The truth is, since Royal Mail was privatised, there hasn't been investment in services and innovation. What there has been is £1 billion almost sucked out of the company, going to shareholders, predominantly the big hedge funds. It's a busted model, and we're in this to develop as well new services and a successful future for customers, the company, and of course our members.
Terry.
Yeah, I think the biggest disappointment for us is that going into privatisation, we secured an agreement, which was an award-winning agreement, as it happens, with that Royal Mail took all the plaudits for. But it was about industrial stability. It was about us working together. It was about the union being able to have a strategic influence in the future direction of the business. And we've really tried to make that agreement work. This is the employer that's walked away from that aspect. And everything the union's saying, and it's a very complex set of talks, it's not a single issue dispute, this one. But on all the issues, I absolutely believe that we're the ones being progressive. We've got a progressive vision for this industry, but unfortunately Royal Mail's vision now seems to be the one out of the rearview mirror, taking us backwards on all of these issues, and you're just seeing the traditional effects, the conventional wisdom effects of privatisation. Everyone knows what's happened to other public utilities, and everyone is extremely cross about that. This business is still relevant. Royal Mail talk about the Royal Mail Group now as if it's the corner shop. We deliver to over 30 million addresses in this country, 6 days a week at a uniform price. Over 500 years old. I genuinely believe it's one of the great social inventions of our history, and it is still relevant. Not even broadband reaches every single address in this country. We're the only company that does, and it's still a highly valued service. But people are seeing it deteriorate. They're seeing it get later and later. And Royal Mail want to take it that way. We want to open it up, 7 till 7, grow, bring in new products and services. Maybe things we can help care in the community and all sorts of things that we could do and ideas we've got. They're just not interested at the moment. All they're interested in is minimising costs, maximising profit, increased shareholder return year on year. It's a very short-term vision. It certainly won't serve our members well. But mark my words, if they're successful, then we'll be sitting there at some point, 3 years, 5 years' time, saying whatever happened to our postal service that used to be the envy of the world, which has now been ruined. For what? To just fill a few people's pockets with gold, if you like. And it's not the promise of privatisation, and I repeat, the public of this country didn't want Royal Mail privatised because this is what they feared. It ain't happened for 3 years, but it's happening now. And as I've already said, we're the only people that are prepared to stand in its way. We're in a position to do that, and we're proud to do it on behalf of ourselves and everyone in this country.